What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. And the Federal Reserve made a major announcement here yesterday, which is going to affect pretty much everybody here in the United States. Yeah, as you can see here, the Fed made a jumbo interest rate hike of 0.75% again. This is the third 0.75% interest rate hike in a row for the third month in a row, raising interest rates 2.25% in just the last 3 months. This is crazy how much they've raised interest rates. This is how it's going to affect you, even if you're not a home buyer or a car buyer, which that's going to affect tens of millions of people as well. But take a look at how this is going to affect people dramatically. Check this out. Number one, credit cards. That's right. Your credit card APR, your percentage rate, your interest rate is variable. It's not a locked-in fixed rate. Fed rate hikes affect your credit card's annual percentage rate, the APR, which determines how much interest you will pay for your outstanding debt not paid off by the end of the month. If you pay your credit card off in full every single month, you won't pay any interest. But if you have any money, any debt left over that you didn't pay off in full, you pay interest on it. When the rates hikes began in early 22, average interest rates, APR, on credit cards were close to 16%. That was the average. Yours might be higher, yours might be lower. Now the averages have rise to 18%. With today's increase, average credit card APR interest rates will be closer to 19%. So now we've gone from 16% to about 19% here this year. And don't forget that there's going to be more interest rate, at least one more interest rate hike coming this year, maybe two, and there's going to be more coming next year as well. Remember that the Fed said that we're going to raise interest rates higher and for longer. So you can see here, in this case, for a credit card balance of $5,000 with an APR of 19%, you would pay an additional $1,197 in interest costs compared to an APR of 16% if you'd only made the minimum payment each month, which a lot of people do. So this rise of 3% interest rates is going to cost on a $5,000 credit card balance an average person an additional interest rate or an additional interest cost of $1,197, about $1,200. Yeah, so that breaks it down into real numbers for a lot of people. Number two, auto financing, car financing. Whether you go to buy a new car, lease a car, or a used car, this is going to cost you more money. Federal fund rate hikes don't affect fixed rate car loans already in place. So if you already own a car, lease a car, have a car loan already there, that will not change. However, they do increase interest rate costs for new auto loans. If the next time you go to get a car, it will be higher, the interest rate cost. At the start of 2022, the average interest rate on a 5-year car loan was 3.85%. But with today's increase, the interest rates could nudge up closer to 5.5 to 5.75, or about 2% higher. So we've gone from 3.85 to about 5.75, about 2% higher, and could be going even higher in the future. That works out to about an extra $31 per month in auto financing for a $35,000 car, or about an extra $372 a year. So Yeah, and if you're buying a car more than that, more. If you're buying a car less than that, less. Mortgages, I covered this, I think, in the last video or so. If you have a fixed rate mortgages, it will have no impact on your loan. If you get a new mortgage or have a variable rate mortgage, your monthly payments could or will increase. Mortgage rates tend to rise with rate hikes, but they are more directly influenced by the bond market as well. Since early 2022, mortgage rates have climbed from around 3% to over 6%, and now could be going to over 7%. In fact, in some states, they already are at 7%. Increasing the monthly cost on a 30-year fixed rate $400,000 mortgage with a 20% down payment to $569 more for the exact same house, an extra $569 per month just because of interest rate costs. Yeah. The one silver lining is what I explained in the last video, is that we're starting to see home prices come down. So on that $400,000 home, a few months ago, there would have been multiple bidders saying, well, I gotta outbid 20 people here, because the day it went for sale, there was 20 other guys or 20 other families or women or whoever bidding, saying, I'll bid 410, I'll bid 420, I'll bid 450. And it basically went to the highest bidder because money was cheap and the housing market was just overheated. It was overinflated. And who knows why? You can let me know your speculation on that. But we just kind of had a run up on a lot of different things, including the housing market. And so now things are kind of coming back to normal. So now you might actually be able to say, for that $400,000 home, instead of having to bid 450, you actually could negotiate and say, I'll give you 390. What do you think? Kind of like how things are supposed to be in the housing market. Normally, you wouldn't go to a $400,000 asking price and say, could you please take 450, and have to beg the owner and have to bid against 20 other people? I mean, maybe in some really hot real estate markets, maybe, but surely not all across the United States in every single market. This literally was the first time it had ever happened. So we're coming back down to normal prices, but interest rates are going higher. I mean, they're at 6-7%. Now, let me know in the comments section what the highest interest rate you ever had was, because I've definitely seen some comments before saying, Jimmy, 6-7% really isn't that bad, because back in the early 80s, maybe the 70s, we had interest rates a lot higher than that. So I know, actually, I've been in this home for a while, but I know that actually when I bought this home, my interest rate was actually higher than that. So believe it or not, I'm going to be 42 years old here. So I know I look younger than a lot of people think. But yeah, interest rates have been a lot higher than this. So in terms of, for a while, yes, they're higher than they were a year or two ago. Hopefully you locked in a rate if you're a homeowner. If you're looking to buy a new home, well, really the plan might be, again, everybody has a different plan, and not financial advice, all that good stuff, right? But you're going to be able to buy a home for lower than they were 6 months ago, because you're not going to have to outbid 20 people. And you're going to have to pay a higher interest rate for the time being. And then hopefully when interest rates come down, because we all know the interest rates aren't going to stay high forever. If you look back in history, you look back in the 70s and the 80s, when interest rates were in the double digits, they didn't stay high forever. Then you can refinance and bring your costs down, and you will have bought a home for less than what they were just a few months ago, significantly less in some cases. Now, Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chairman, just said yesterday that the housing market, he expects, is going to undergo a major correction of, what he says is actually a 20% correction. So in that case, a $400,000 home, that would be $80,000. That's a significant amount. Now, for that to happen, I mean, we're not seeing $80,000 come off asking prices just yet. So I don't know how long this might take. Might take several months. I don't know if it'll take years. I don't think it's going to take that long. Um, who knows how long something like this might take? We'll have to see. You can let me know your thoughts here on this. But yeah, all this kind of stuff goes with high inflation, and we'll have to see. But these things are affecting Americans. This is part of everything going on here in our country. And we're seeing this all across the board here. I mean, we're seeing food costs at all-time high. Gas prices have come down now for around 100 days in a row. And in fact, I got some maybe scary news. You can see the headline here from CNN. The historic streak of falling U.S. gas prices is over. You can see the headline from Fox News here. Gas prices rise for the first time in nearly 100 days. The national average of gasoline increased by 1 cent to 3.68. You can see the headline here from ABC. After 99 days in decline, price for gasoline up 1 penny. So is the decline over? This is just one day. You can see here the national average price of gas did go up 1 cent. The price of diesel here actually, diesel's been fluctuating kind of a lot here. Diesel's been down here 7 cents over the past week. Diesel's still going down. Regular did go up 1 penny here, and a week ago it was 2 cents lower. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts here. But you can see here a month ago, so we're at 3.68 for regular gas. A month ago we were at 3.90. So again, the overall trend, you can let me know your thoughts. Let me know what gas prices are in your city and state in the comments section. I know a lot of people have said that gas in their city and state is in the twos, 2.99, 2.95, particularly in the southeast, states like Florida, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, I think even maybe North Carolina, South Carolina. Some of those states definitely in the 2.99s. Of course, if you're in California, the largest population state, not so much. Yeah, you can see here California gas prices 5.49. A week ago they were 5.43. So you can see the kind of difference here. California gas prices have actually gone up by 6 cents. And a big difference here. You look at like Texas, 3.16. A week ago was 3.17. So yeah, they've kind of gone down by 1 penny, but you can see here how prices have kind of slowed. In fact, in the case of California, they've actually gone up. Yeah, California's prices are just higher because they have really high state taxes, and also they have a different blend of fuel to lower pollution. They do also have an up to $1,050 stimulus check coming for Californians next month, actually in October, which is not that far away. So that'll be coming here shortly. I'll keep you up to date here on that as the details come out here in October. That's up to $1,050. It's $350 per person. So mom, $350, dad, $350, $350 per child, up to $1,050, basically $350 per person. So that definitely kind of makes up for the price in gas. And honestly, California has enough money, budget surplus of $97 billion. There's probably going to be a stimulus check next year for California too. Just kind of, I mean, again, I can't promise anything, but just looking at their budget and how much money they have, probably going to be another one again next year. Now, what is Texas doing? Texas has a 20-some billion-dollar surplus as well, and obviously not as much as California. Yeah, you can see here from the Texas Tribune, Texas says that they have $27 billion in its coffers as of July. So honestly, there's probably over $30 billion at this point. money that could help pay for property taxes and other legislative priorities. I've had a lot of people say, what is Texas going to do with the money? That's a really good question. I wish I had more information for you at this point. I'll keep you up to date here on all these different states as they come out with news. But right now, Texas is holding on to the money for good keeping. So, yeah. Also, in today's episode of You Can't Make This Stuff Up, yeah, and of course it pertains to Senator Ron Johnson, one of the fan favorites. Ron Johnson, the guy who twice blocked COVID stimulus checks for Americans, $1,200, and said, quote, I'm not heartless. I want to help people. I voted to help people. And he single-handedly blocked these stimulus checks by standing up and objecting to them when they tried to unanimously pass them through the Senate. In fact, it was a bipartisan effort by Senator Bernie Sanders and Republican Senator Josh Hawley back in 2020 when they tried to unanimously just push this through the Senate. And former President Donald Trump was for these. Republican Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin basically said, no, I don't want to help the people. Well, now he's trying to get reelected, so he's trying to make people forget about the stuff. He also recently suggests ending Medicare, Social Security as mandatory spending programs. This was just as of August, just last month, where he said that even though you paid into Social Security for years and years and years, and you pay into Medicare with Medicare Part B on a monthly basis, he doesn't want them to be mandatory spending programs. So even though you paid into them for years, he doesn't want them to be mandatory. He wants Congress to have to approve them every single year, even though it's your money, even though you paid into them. The problem with that is, have you ever heard of a government shutdown where Republicans and Democrats don't agree and then they go into a government shutdown? Basically, what this would mean is that they wouldn't be mandatory spending. Congress would have to agree to actually send out your paychecks and Medicare every single year. And if they don't agree, guess what? Social Security paychecks wouldn't go out. SSI, SSDI, VA, RRB, Social Security. If Congress didn't agree every single year to actually send out the checks for Social Security, Medicare, and health care and everything, then they wouldn't go out. So this is what he suggests. Can't make this stuff up. But that's not even what you can't make up. Here's what just happened. Look at the slip up that Republican Senator Ron Johnson just made. Yeah, Ron Johnson says he condones white supremacy in on-air slip. Obviously, it was a slip up, but here's what he says. Can't make this stuff up. Check this out.
We would have an annual threat hearing, and my ranking member would always be bringing up white supremacy, which, I condone. I mean, I condemn, but we would have an annual threat hearing, and my ranking member would always be bringing up white supremacy, which, I condone. I mean, I condemn, but.
So, I don't know. You let me know your thoughts in the comments, but yeah. So obviously he's a fan favorite here. sarcasm. But you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Yeah, but Fox News played it anyways. Yeah, I don't know if it was live or they just didn't cut it or what, but you can't make this stuff up. So yeah, let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. Make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll keep you up to date here. You can click here to watch my video of an important date coming out here September 28th, which could mean more money and benefits for millions of Americans. Really good video there. And you can click here to see checks that are going out to millions of Americans right now, actually. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.